Where there is unease, where there is questioning, Pisces, there lies the potential for beautiful transformation. Hi, welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline, and here on Zero's Journey, we use a compass of curiosity, courage, compassion, and creativity to get where we want to go by recognizing exactly where the fuck we currently are. I'm excited to read for you, Pisces. So before we get into the map of your month, we're going to get into some tarot cards. I want to start with your North Star, an orientation point that Spirit offers you, that wherever you find yourself in the month, whatever dynamic, whatever situation, if you orient yourself to this North Star I'm about to show you, you will find your way to get where you're trying to go. So your North Star for this month, Pisces, is reflect. And you'll notice that the image is a couple of swans, which, as I alluded to earlier, is a symbol for the fact that, as Spirit said, where you might have some unease or some questioning, even like a big fat void of like, I don't know what to do or what I want or where to go next or etc. Where you can gently, compassionately, creatively, courageously, curiously observe that and not judge it and not categorize it, but simply reflect upon it, a beautiful evolution can occur. And you know, it's not an original observation, Pisces, but the first step to resolving anything or solving anything is to recognize that there's a problem or an issue or friction or whatever. So this month, Spirit asks, what is your reflection practice? Do you have one? And is it a devoted practice? And the whole point, like, I'm not trying to blame, shame, judge anybody. I'm not trying to like worry about anybody's spiritual habits. I'm not checking anybody else's notes. But Spirit is referring to the concept of spiritual hygiene. And if you've never heard it before, I mean, it's the simple idea that we interact with a lot of people, with a lot of media, with a lot of messaging, with a lot of energy all day, every day, our own thoughts and other people's and etc. And just the same way that if you were to walk around for a week or two without getting in the shower and washing off the debris, you'd be pretty crusty and scummy. If you're walking around without taking any time to reflect, to slough off, to notice, to remove any spiritual, emotional, psychological debris that you've picked up, you're gonna get pretty skanky pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't about being perfect or the best spiritual person. This is about loving yourself. This is about taking care of yourself. And that which we don't reflect on, you know, again, like a man's mossy balls, it grows in the dark. I'm so sorry, Pisces. I can't help myself. You want, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Reflection, simply observing the knot in our energy, is an enormous step to loosening it, to loosening that knot, to give us a little more slack. So Spirit is also coming through right away with cut yourself a little more slack this month, okay? November, what are my reflection practices? You know, do you journal? And if you don't like writing, have you considered maybe recording, like, you know, voice memos for a journal, or even doing recording yourself on video and, you know, just keeping it in a private or passworded or whatever folder? Because it's one thing to think about stuff, and that's not what Spirit is talking about. They're even saying, like, think about the image here. Think about the word reflect. Spirit wants you to see your thoughts reflected in something. So like journal, like there, I've put the words, I've put the energy into words and put it on this piece of paper. That's kind of like grounding it, bringing it out of like your head, so it doesn't have to be like having 100 tabs open in your internet brain. You know, now they don't need to take up that space anymore. They're here. Spirit wants it to be reflected in something. Maybe you don't want to write, like I said, maybe you record something, maybe you spill your guts in art, maybe you spill them on a private blog, whatever. Like, find a way to make your thoughts tangible. Maybe you share them with more than one person. This is also a good way to do it. Some people like, wow, I've got somebody sharing some big thoughts in the background. Pardon her. That's my cat, Isis. She might actually be a Pisces. We're not sure. She was from the streets. Okay, enough about Isis. This is about you, Pisces. The one last thing about reflection practices. A reflection practice is quite a mental deal, right? Because we're processing thoughts. And yes, it's emotional as well, but it's kind of like analysis of emotions, right? So when we're doing something very mental, we want to balance that and harmonize it with something earthly, right? Because air, mental, earth, physical. So taking a walk, doing a little workout, doing some stretching, perhaps while you're reflecting or perhaps afterwards to kind of help integrate and process it. I know that might sound unrelated to some of you, but it's really not. It's something actually a dear friend of mine recently reminded me, like very scientifically backed, to ground the mental and the physical. So keep that in mind. And now let's get into the map of your month. Spirit, what do you want to share with Pisces in the month of November? Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, for their highest good. Pisces dominant folks, spirit, those who come in under the sign of Pisces, what do they need to know in the month of November? What do you want to share with them for their highest good, spirit? For them to have the most joyful, abundant, peaceful, pleasurable month possible. What do you want them to be aware of for their highest good? What energies might be around them? What people? What benefits? What challenges? What yowling cats? What does Pisces need to know for their highest good in the month of November? Hey, you don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, Pisces, you got a bonus card. All right, let's get into November. Beautiful. Ain't that a Pisces right up front? Here's you, agent of love and agent of change. Knight of Cups or transition. Knights represent going from one place to another. Wow. A beautiful transformation is possible. The swan herself, the Empress. Okay, let's see. Beautiful. Reflecting for you does come with a little bit of dissolving. And there's a little bit of I say a little bit, there's an ego death involved with reflecting on where you've been, reflecting on who you are, what you want. And one thing that you want, Pisces, I feel very strongly, is more security. And that can mean different things for different Pisces. Here's a quick reminder before I get into the spiels that I'm hearing from Spirit, that of course, Pisces, these are general readings. So some of these messages are going to resonate, some are not. If they don't, that's okay. That's for some other Pisces. And also, some of these messages are going to come in. I'm going to hear different things for different Pisces. I want you to follow the through line of your own intuition and the plot of your own story, punctuated by all that. So there's an ego death. I'm going to jump right here because you really only have one tough card in the bunch, and let's talk about it. It's crowning your reading. It's loud and clear. This isn't something to be afraid of. This isn't something that's coming in your future. This is something that is present right now. Something feels unsteady. Something feels dissolved. Something feels like this ain't it. And it has to change. And it is. Because like I said, this isn't like the past and this isn't the future. This is now. This is, you've changed and you are changing and your life is changing. The Tower comes in and takes things away without our permission. It forces us to dissolve parts of ourselves. And with you coming in with this reflect message and this transformation is possible message, you might discover that you love yourself a whole lot more than you knew that you did, and that dissolves some important things in your life. As weird as that might sound, that's a sign of growth and evolution. You might feel like, okay, Spirit has given it to me like this. Here's the hidden element of your reading. King of Wands. This is a creative, charismatic, courageous soul. This is somebody who deeply, deeply supports you. And whenever we encounter a tarot card in our reading, and even in another human being, we are meant to encounter that energy within ourselves. So Spirit is inviting you to encounter the King of Wands in you, the fearless leader, the entrepreneurial spirit, the embodied creative is actually the phrase that Spirit just used, which I love. Like the person who takes it from an intangible, ephemeral idea. Oh, thank you. You are a wonderful dear partner for doing that. Anyway, there are Pisces, I can say that. They can take an idea and take it from seed to orchard, from script to it's a production, a full-on production. And this person wants to see you producing what you want, getting what you want, secure, rich. I'm actually also hearing. And again, rich, secure, these words mean different things to different Pisces. What do they mean to you? You're a very intuitive soul. You are brilliant at reflecting. The issue Spirit is saying comes with believing your worth. Shifting, changing, receiving. It's different for every Pisces. Some of you are great at giving, some of you are great at receiving, but not so great at these other things. Spirit is offering me all of these as things that you are variously experiencing and going through. Spirit wants you to feel, again, they're saying rich. Let me just come straight here and explain to you why I keep saying this. There's a couple reasons. We're going to jump to your future. So, like I said, this tower moment, this is present. This is nothing to be scared of. It's already here. So it's like either the job's not working or the relationship's not working, or you can feel that you're moving into a new phase of your life. Even if you don't know what is trembling yet, something is trembling, something is dissolving. And Spirit wants you to take heart because you're not dissolving. You are actually going to be more yourself than ever, because this is another, it's like shedding a skin. Except with the tower, you know how skin is shed kind of over time, the way that skin peels, and they're like, don't pull on it, it's gonna peel, it's fine, it'll do its own thing. The tower is like energy, spirit, whatever, walking up to your life and going, okay, you're ready to shed this now. Strip, and just taking it all off of you at once. And that shit is painful, it's upsetting, it's uncomfortable, it leaves you feeling very vulnerable and exposed and sensitive. And as a Pisces, you're already a sensitive, but I want to say, you have people around you that want to protect you, that want to care for you, that will also help you reflect. So this Queen of Cups, as I said, here's your King of Charisma. These people can be anywhere on the gender spectrum, by the way. This could totally be a man, this could be a woman, they could both be non-binary people. All of that is valid. This is about personality type, not about gender or sex. The Queen of Cups is someone who is the Queen of Compassion, the Queen of Intuition, the Queen of Reflection. I mean, look at her. She's always reflecting. And the Queen knows that you don't reflect in muddy waters. You reflect in calm, steady waters. That's when you can really see what you're looking at. So she's here to help you through this tower moment. So let's come back to Rich. Your future. 2 cards. I didn't pull any clarifiers. Spirit just wanted this many cards for you. 4 of Cups followed by King of Pentacles. Don't miss an opportunity to get a little wealthier, to get a little more secure. It may come from a place that you're not expecting. It may not look anything like what you had planned, or even like what you hoped for. Because, I mean, look at this 4 of Cups. You can see she's only got eyes for these 3 empty cups here. Even though there's like a magical hand delivering a magical cup, which any one of us would think like, oh my God, I would totally see if a disembodied hand appeared out of the air and wanted to give me something. But we all be missing out on opportunities and divine timing and shit all the time because we're scared, or we don't notice, or we haven't been reflecting on a certain pattern or emotion that's been continuously coming up. But when we do reflect, when we do choose to go ahead and look up, open our eyes, and look at all of what is being presented to us, we can get rich. We can recognize that, as a matter of fact, we've been sitting on our treasures. And that's what Spirit is saying. And no fucking blame, no shame, no judgment. This isn't what we're doing here. Spirit's like, hey, you've got the Midas touch, but you've had these rubber gloves on. Like, well, if you're not willing to interact with these patterns or these emotions that keep coming up, and I'm saying, like, it's like if you keep waking up at a certain time and having a certain pattern of thoughts or a certain pattern of emotions or whatever, that's asking for your attention. It's asking to be looked at full in the face rather than resisted and run from, which is a totally understandable reaction. But there is something enriching in this tower moment. There is something enriching in letting go of what isn't you anymore. Maybe it used to fit you and it doesn't anymore. Maybe this used to work for you, this way of life or this job or this style or this person or whatever, and it doesn't anymore. There's no shame in that. There's no harm in that. Beautiful new energy wants to enter your life. You've got so much love around you. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, Page of Cups. Good news, good message. Spirit is saying message in a bottle. This feels like an invitation. I feel like you're being invited somewhere kind of literally or figuratively in November, whether it's like, hey, you should come visit me, or hey, come join this community or this organization, or be a part of this panel, or come join our dinner party, whatever. I feel like you're getting an invitation, and it's a very loving invitation. And Empress, you're meant to receive. So I hope that you will accept that invitation if it feels right to you. If you reflect in unmuddied waters and find that, oh my God, this is something I've been thinking about and wanting and dreaming of, and now here it's showing up for me. Hey, look what happens when we reflect. Look what happens when we untangle the knots in ourselves. It lets the energy flow. It doesn't get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, oops, like everything was going great. I'm doing this creative project. Ooh, it ran right into the fact that I resent my parent who was also creative. Whatever it is for you. Oh, I reminded myself of my dad and I can't stand it now and I'm going to throw the whole thing away. You want to untie those knots so that that energy can go exactly where it wants to go. Again, another beautiful card for reflection, literal and figurative. Temperance. This is moderation. This is the understanding that comes from gentle reflection and exchange and not going to extremes. Choosing very deliberately not to go to extremes, to be very gentle and easy with yourself, with other people. You're processing a lot right now, but this is a good thing. It's healing. It's amazing. I mean, Temperance, especially after the Tower with the Page of Cups, the Queen, you've got so much love coming to you and so much assistance coming to you. Spirit is actually showing me something wonderful. Like, words are cumbersome, but what they were showing me is like, okay, so there's this tower and it's falling apart. And here you go tumbling out of this tower, just like these people, right? But you fall, and you fall into the water, and you are safely borne, floated to the top of it, and taken by all these energies around you that hold all this love, flowing you to where you're supposed to be. When you let your feelings flow, you'll get where you're trying to go. I can't stop the Susian guide. I can't. I'm so sorry. I hate it too. What can I say? But there's healing here. The key and conclusion. This is, if I were gonna pull a card out of the fucking deck and say like, okay, tell me which tarot card really stands for reflection. Four of Swords is exactly that. Four of Swords is getting your thoughts together. It's having peace and quiet time to let your thoughts kind of settle and start to make sense. It's you know, swords are the air element, and the fours are stillness. So I talked before about, you know, the Queen of Cups knows that you don't try to reflect in muddy waters. You will not see your reflection. You'll see something very distorted and messed up and totally foreign to you, right? But when the air is still and the water grows still, you can see things for what they really are. So put your thoughts on the wall, put your thoughts on the page, give your thoughts to a therapist to reflect back to you. Do you know what I'm saying? In some way or another, though, reflect it back to yourself, not just thinking to yourself, because that's like you're creating knots. We actually want to go ahead and put them on paper or on video or audio where we can hear ourselves back and reflect and understand. You are worthy. Spirit, the energy around you, the universe is conspiring to enrich you. They are stripping you of your fears so that you can reveal all of your gifts. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you play along, that you go for it. Resistance is futile, and assistance is fertile. King of Pentacles, come on, grow your money, grow your skills, grow yourself. It's beautiful, beautiful thing, Pisces. Thank you for being here, Pisces. I really hope that this reading is helpful for you. If you ever want to book a personal reading or join my Patreon, where I do give personal readings to patrons every single month at a live call-in show, or you just want to talk with other folks who are like-minded, who like the channel, and we talk about tarot and metaphysics and life and things, all the ways to do that are in the description box below. Thank you again for spending time with me, Pisces. It's always a pleasure. And if I don't see you in one of the vlogs before then I hope I will see you in your December reading. Bye, Pisces.